All right, how's it going, my deplorable bigots? And as you see, this is a current event live hangout. We're live, so feel free to go ahead and type your little messages and troll the fuck out of us, as I know you will. But I'm here with Stephen Rose. I am here with Kev's Point of View, and I am here with Bearstown. And Stephen Rose is that your cousin, right? Yep.
Hi, my name is Robert.
So yeah, we got a full cast today, and we are going to go ahead and start with Stephen Rose. This is current events and how we think about them and how we're going to react to them. This isn't just CNN mumbo jumbo. This is the events that are going on today, and we're going to go ahead and give. You're going to have a lot of differing opinions, maybe whatever. But I'll go ahead and let you take the floor, Stephen.
All right, so basically what we're doing is everybody brings a current event, like back in the day in school, where your teacher told you if you bring a current event, you get extra credit. You discuss the article. Sometimes the teacher may comment off of it, or sometimes the students might raise their hands and ask a question about it. This is kind of what this is now. What's all that noise? Bearstown.
Is that Bearstown?
Bearstown, mute your camera.
Hello?
Mute your camera. You're making a lot of noise.
I think he's eating popcorn.
Oh, he's eating popcorn? Oh, okay. All right, well, anyways, I thought I would just jump on board first and present my article because I feel like it's probably different from most of your guys' articles. I found a fascinating discovery that astronomers have found. I'm not really an astronomist, but the article, which is in the link of the description here, you guys can look it up. It's called For the First Time, Astronomers Have Discovered 7 Earth-Sized Planets Orbiting a Nearby Star. Now, the star is called the Aquarius constellation, if you guys want to type that in. Aquarius is a constellation of a zodiac situated between Capricornus and Pisces. It's a Latin term for water carrier or cup carrier, and it's a symbol for Unicode, a representation of water, which I thought was pretty fascinating. Now, if you guys are familiar with The Rock, what do they call him? The Great One. What I found in this article here, history and mythology, Aquarius is identified as Gula, hence the Great One. In the Babylonian star, catalogs and represents the god Ea himself, who is commonly depicted holding an overflowing vase. Now, the name of this galaxy, or you can actually see it with the naked eye, it's called the Aquarius, and you can see it in space. It's kind of shaped like a lasso. It goes around in a circle, and then it comes down like a loop, almost like a letter P almost, okay? Now, what is the name of this particular galaxy, or what's the name of the star? It's called, they call it the TRAPPIST-1. TRAPPIST is in TRAPPIST-1. Now, what's fascinating about this, and I'm going to go ahead and put the article here in the Google Hangout here so you guys can see it yourself. It takes 39 light years, meaning you would have to travel at the speed of light to get to this area. Okay, so that would be equivalent to the fastest, I think, ship we have right now is the Voyager, not the Voyager 1. It's called the, I had it right here, 1 second. It was called the New Horizon. It travels at 32,000 miles an hour, which would be equivalent to, it would take 817,000 years to get there at the speed, at the rate of the speed it's going. And unfortunately, we don't have the technology to get to this area within 39 light years. The fastest is 32,000, which is 1/10 of the speed of light. Okay. So unfortunately, it would take 800 years to get there. Or 817,000 years. And I was telling my nephew, I was making a joke about it. I said, we're going to volunteer. We're going to select him as well as 5,000 people to be the first people to carry off in this voyage. Now, your goal every 30 years is to make more babies. And as the generations go and go, and this ship gets closer to its area, those individuals who finally get there 800,000 years from now will get to be able to see if these planets can sustain life. And I thought it would be like a cool fascination. Now, I know theoretically we probably couldn't do that, but if we can find a ship that travels at 39 light years, or twice the speed of light, which would take 18.5 years, or 3 times the speed of light, which would take 9 years, this is a great discovery, and this was just discovered last week. Okay, So you got 9 planets, and they've all found evidence that there's water on top of these planets, which is possible we could sustain life. Now, my nephew had something he wanted to say. He said that we can actually create oxygen.
Growth,
even if there's not.
You can grow grass without oxygen. And with plants, people don't know this, but plants could produce oxygen. That's how we're able to breathe right now. Plants.
But,
plants, in order for them to grow, I think they need like some carbon dioxide or whatnot. I think that's the main thing they need to grow. But yeah.
The problem is we don't have an atmosphere, though. So if there's no atmosphere to trap this air, sort of like what we have here on Earth, it's still a long shot to figure out if these planets can sustain life. But I don't know about you guys, but this is a very good discovery. And this is, of course, the closest, they say, star that's closest to Earth. And we actually have a probe right now, before I close this article off. It's called the New Horizons. The fastest spacecraft ever launched flew past Pluto in 2015, is currently traveling out of our solar system at 14.31 kilometers per second, about 32,000 miles per hour, according to NASA's New Horizon tracking page. At this rate, it would take Pluto's probe 817,000 years to travel at 39 light years. It says NASA's Juno spacecraft actually flew faster than New Horizons during its approach to the gas giant Jupiter in 2016 with the help of Jupiter's gravity. Juno hit a top speed of 165,000 miles per hour, which relative to Earth, making it the fastest human-made object ever through New Horizons' initial speed, which was faster than Juno's speed after launch. Even if Juno were constantly traveling that fast, not getting at the speed boost en route, it would still take the spacecraft 159,000 years to reach this planet, as opposed to the 817,000 years that was once suggested by the Voyager 1, or by the New Horizon. So I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a fascinating discovery, and I was wondering if you guys think these planets can sustain life. I know it's a long shot, but do you ever see life outside of Earth? Do you think there's life outside of Earth? And I guess we can go with Polston first.
I'm really skeptical on a lot of the NASA stuff. I'm sorry. I just find it a little bit. Whenever they say that the Apollo has less technology, and this isn't me, this is NASA. Whenever they say that the Apollo has less technology than a cell phone, then why the fuck haven't we been back on the moon? Now, I used to work at SpaceX, and one of those things that you were telling me about how you can sustain an atmosphere. Down here, I think it's in Italy, Texas or not, but they have the domes. You know what I'm saying? The dome housing, kind of like the biodomes. And that would be something that you could look at. I'm really skeptical whenever they say they find these new planets that we can live on, because this comes out every so often. And we haven't even amassed close. We amassed a debt by honestly fucking wars and shit. We get trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, but we haven't come any closer to sustaining life on any other planet.
It gives a shit. It's just honesty. NASA's no one's funding any space exploration. They're not doing anything about it. I mean, they said something about sustaining life on Mars, but no one's gonna do that.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to believe that, they are really seeing a lot of this stuff in here, because at the same time, you look at it, space is supposed to be so cold, so we send out the Hubble telescope, right? How the fuck is this thing not freezing? Is there special heaters? When does it run out of gas? When is it going to crash into another planet? There's so much shit out there that I think that it would be really, really, really hard currently with the current government and the current situation that we're in. I mean, all we're doing right now, we're still fighting for fucking oil on this planet. You would think by now, that there would be some life on other planets if that was capable. You think fucking George Soros is going to be stuck down here with us? Hell no. He's worth $23 billion. he would have already funded. We should already have funding. If this was, like I said, and I'm skeptical about the moon landing, you know what I'm saying? I'm skeptical about it. Am I going to say it happened 100%? Am I going to say it didn't happen 100%? No, but I am very, very fucking skeptical that we went to the fucking moon and we haven't been back since. Just doesn't make any sense, especially how more cost effective it would be today. We would already start to colonize on the moon. You know what I'm saying? We would already start to put shit out on the moon. We would put up telescopes. We would be colonizing up there. So you have to look at this and say, y'all come up with this shit to get more money out of us so you can go ahead and make more money. I just think a lot of these things that they bring out is just kind of like a Ponzi scheme, something for people to throw money into, and they have no ambitions of going anywhere else. And I'm just being real.
All right, hey Kev, so I want to ask you something, man. What do you think about this fascination discovery of these 7 planets on this star that's located 39 light years, traveling at the speed of light from our? I think they said they found water on the surface of these planets. Do you think there's life on there, and do you think humans will ever make a machine that can be able to travel at the speed in which we can get there to be able to find out if we can, have life on this planet? What are your whole thoughts about the article?
Well, I think the article is pretty cool. Some things Poston said I do agree with, but one of the big conspiracies about, different solar systems and planets is if you look at Area 51 and you look at some of the ships and airplanes and aircrafts that we use in military today, some of them are built like spaceships. And it makes you wonder, I believe that aliens have been here before. We've seen them. I believe that we've seen different lives. Is it possible? Yes. I do like it, however, because I'm an Aquarius myself. So the part that you were talking about with that, I thought that was pretty cool. But I think that if we can get the funds to do it, it's possible. But I mean, like Poston said, I don't think we've been to the moon more than once, honestly. To be honest with you, I don't even think we've been to the moon at all. So,
interesting.
Okay, so Kev, let me ask you this: Do you think? Now that we've discovered these 7 new planets or exoplanets or whatever they refer to them in the TRAPPIST-1 system, do you ever see us creating the technology to get there?
I think in due time. It may take a while. It may take a couple years. It may take 5. It may take 10. It may take 15. But I think at some point, yeah, we'll be up there.
So, Bearstown, are you there? Bearstown?
He's still muted.
I didn't mute him. He muted himself.
I'm there.
Well, Bearstown, what do you think about this discovery of these 7 new planets on a solar system or whatever you want to call it, the TRAPPIST-1 system?
I think it's real because I saw UFO.
Do you think these planets have life on it? Do you think there's life outside of Earth?
I think there is because I saw a UFO back in when I was 15, 14 years old. Was it 10 years ago? Was it 10 years ago? Yeah, but 10 years ago, right? And I'm telling a story. Well, I did not believe it. I saw a UFO for my birthday. It was a camping for me, my mom, my brother, my 2 brothers, and my cousin, right? In the car, right? My mom's hybrid to Indiana, right? And I saw a UFO, like a spaceship, right? Oops, sorry, but I apologize. So I came in here like a ship, right? So she come here, whoosh, come here, back in the car. Every UFO like, oh shit! So I stopped, like, what the hell? Your phone shit came up, zoom, back, and quick. I think there's aliens.
Abducted you?
No, not yet. I was close. Oh shit!
Did
shit!
Or could do it?
Yeah, I was like, here, like this. How I was like, holy shit! In the car, stopped. Now they didn't take me or nothing. Like a quick stop. Like when we stopped, everybody traffic stopped. I was like, oh shit.
They try to stop you? The aliens try to stop you?
Yeah, the tire cars stop. And the aliens come in, stop. Right back and forth. Shoot, shoot. And went back to space. I saw your phone. Oh shit! I think that's real. I saw your phone once.
Oh, so I've never met anybody that encountered extraterrestrial life form, dude. You're the first person I've ever met.
I have. I've seen a UFO before, but I don't. I mean, it was unidentified, so I don't know exactly what it was. But me and a friend of mine, right, we were walking around, and I live in the country, so I live in the sticks, fucking cow mutilations and shit like that. And we were walking. We did my parents live on the border, and I live close to my parents, but we actually walked through like 3 counties. But in this field, the cows were acting weird. You know what I'm saying? They'd run one direction, and they would run in formation. And we looked up above and said, man, why are these cows acting so fucking weird? And he goes, man, I don't know, man, but it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And then we see this light. It almost looked like a little orb in the sky. It was floating over, and it kind of like whenever he would react nervous or if he got anxious about it and start to panic, it would fade out and it would kind of go away. Whenever he would calm down, it would come back. And then he freaked out so much that it just left altogether. I said, man, if you would have calmed down, we could have maybe figured out what it was. But like I said, as far as like going to other planets or stuff like that, I think that a lot of this stuff, NASA always discovers these things. And I think that to a degree that NASA just is there to collect money. You know what I'm saying? To collect all these dollars. Because to be honest, with as much money as NASA's bought in, we would have already been somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And not talking about one trip to the moon and haven't done anything with it so far, man. I'm very, very skeptical that we even went to the moon the first time. I just think it was a money grab. I really do.
So I'm gonna ask my nephew, what do you think about the article, these 7 new planets that they discovered? Do you think it sustained life? Do you think it's worth even? I mean, it's so far away. Do you even think it's worth?
Well, in my own opinion, if we're here, to be honest, I think that everything that has happened was just a mistake. This planet was a mistake. We're just a bunch of mutated creatures that are just living here, and we're close to the sun where we actually can sustain life on our small, miserable planet.
Okay, so what I'm asking you, did you find any interest in the article?
Yeah, I found interest in the article because if we exist, then there should be others.
Do you think there's others? Do you think we are alone in the universe?
We're not alone. We're not alone in the universe. There are other galaxies, universes. It's crazy.
Do you think there's other people that may not look like us, but there's other forms?
Yes, other forms of, I don't know.
So some sort of extraterrestrial life form?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Polston and Kev, before we sign off of my article. Last question. We'll start with Kev. Kev, do you believe we are alone in the universe? Yes, no, and so explain.
No, and especially what Poston was saying, like, I live in the suburbs of Nashville, but there's a lot of country areas around here in Nashville, a lot of counties. And I think if they were to touch down anywhere, they would be there. And I do think that we are not alone in this country. In this whole universe, I don't think we're alone. I think aliens have visited before. I think different people have visited, and hey, you know what? Just watch Total Recall, people, and Mars Attacks. You'll find it.
Me, I'm 100% convinced that we're not the only ones. But like I said, I just have a lot of trust issues with NASA. And I noticed that this discovery of 7 new planets, right, has kind of came out whenever there was a new Aliens movie coming out. So there yet again, it just kind of makes me a little bit skeptical of it. I will go on CNN and troll and still call them fake news on the article, regardless if it's true or not. So it looks like Bearstown dropped out.
Okay, so guys, if aliens visit our planet, last question, what is preventing them from communicating with us? If you suggested that somebody else has been here before or is currently visited, What is stopping them from communication? Do you think they fear us? Do you think they fear what we may fear them?
What if they're still here? Maybe they have supernatural abilities where they can survive underwater and they haven't come out for, I don't know, probably thousands of years. Maybe they visited before we even formed. Maybe they're the reason we're here. Who knows?
Well, here's the thing, right? And I believe I'm more on the quantum area of this right here, because if you don't know, you can look this up too. But they found like the digits, like binary codes and stuff at the edge of the universe is 1, 0, yes, no, 1, 0, 1, 0. They found that are at the end of the edge of the universe, at the edge of the solar system. They find this binary code. So I think that I tend to try to go with the quantum theories over the extraterrestrial theories. That's just me personally, because it is almost set up like a matrix almost to a degree. A lot of like your DNA and all that stuff, it's almost set up by binary code to a degree. And they're like little zip files and shit like this in your body, just to make up who you are. So I tend to lean towards that. I'm really, really skeptical whenever NASA does this stuff. Whenever they pull out these, like I said, I'll go to CNN, but I know that we're not the only beings. You know what I'm saying? That would be just, we know that this isn't the case. And we've had visitors that are not exactly from this plane of existence over time. Every culture has mentioned this. Now, if you want to believe it or not, or
so Kev, last question to you, then we're going to wrap this up. Real quick answer, quick summation. Do you think, you said that aliens visit here before, what's preventing them from opening communications with us? What do you believe? Or do you believe that they haven't visited here in a while? What is your belief?
I think that like I said, Area 51's hiding a lot of shit. Illuminati, all these governments hiding a lot of shit. And what I'm trying to say is, I think aliens have been here before, and I think that they have been held captive. They've been held captive. I mean, if you look at the way military weapons are being built, the way stuff's being built, look at Hollywood, for example. Look at the way they make, movies and the way they make some aliens and, World of Worlds and all of that. It's very possible that they've been here already. And maybe the reason why they haven't communicated with us is that they're still studying us, because we evolve every year as well. As human beings, we evolve.
All right.
Maybe they're scared of us. Maybe they only recognized us because of our wars that we've had. What if?
I think here's what I think, right? And I wanted to throw this in there because I didn't get a chance to throw this in there.
Go ahead.
Whenever you're looking, and this is something that I try to get through to a lot of people, going through the military, right? They just didn't ship me out and throw me in there and say, hey, you're going to go out there and fight a war. I had to go through basic. I had to go through schools. I had to progress. So I think that the aliens can monitor, but they can't direct, or if you want to call them aliens, whatever you want to call them, supernatural beings, gods, angels, deities, demons, devils, whatever you want to call them. Whatever you want to call them, I don't think that they can directly interfere. I think that they have to let us progress. And I think that that's one of the things that's like, well, we can go ahead and monitor them, and maybe we can go out, help them from time to time, show you a miracle, or do something for you while you progress. And I think that it's a progression thing. I think that's what's keeping them totally from actually full-on bound communications and whatnot.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because my article damn near took 20-something minutes, Polston. I mean, you could probably look on your timer and tell.
Yeah, I know.
I went ahead and wrapped mine up. I just thought it was a fascinating article to cover. We're going to go ahead and go with Kev's next because I think that since my nephew and Polston's are together, they kind of correlate to each other. I feel that Kev should probably be the next person to cover his article. So we'll let Kev take the floor.
Okay, so we all know we're all Trump supporters in this room, right? All righty. So now, did everybody remember that whole Immigrant Day, Day Without Immigrant Day?
Yes.
On March the 8th, the organizers behind that historical women's march where Madonna said she wants to blow up the White House, they're having a nationwide, they're making it their next big move, a day without women. According to the organizers, the purpose for this is to recognize the value of women, add to their, social system despite wage and battling wage equality, sexual harassment, outer forms. So basically what they want is women to take a day off. Women are encouraged to refrain from engaging in both paid and unpaid labor, and think before you spend. The organizers suggest that women should participate in avoiding shopping throughout the day, with exception for small women and minority-owner business. So what my question is for you guys is, what do you guys think of this fucking bullshit?
I think Polson should go first.
Okay, let's go.
All right, yeah. This is just another thing. This is another tactic. A lot of these people we know obviously are going to get paid, but these people want attention, and that's all they fucking want. You still haven't got over the fact that you lost a fucking election. All right. I don't even understand what this is supposed to fucking prove. We can't get anything done currently. A lot of the legislation that Donald Trump has passed seems to be pretty legitimate. Why don't we have a fucking, because they're so fucking hell-bent on stopping Betsy DeVos and her school policies and having women be able to pick the schools that their kids go to school with, you know what I'm saying? They should have the right to send them to private school if they want to. But I mean, this is just follow the fucking leader mentality. They think that if they do this shit enough, they're actually going to get support. They're going to gain support, and it's going to steamroll. But by now, it should tell you that you're not getting support. People are looking at you like you are a bunch of fucking crybabies. And instead of discussing and debating the issues at hand, none of the liberals right now, the current, ones that backed Obama and the ones that back Hillary, they can't debate. They have nothing to debate on. They have no substance. They have nothing to debate on. So all they can do is, start these pseudo movements and try to see if they can get somebody to go behind their superficial cause. And that's what I think it is.
Okay, my nephew wants to add something. Go ahead.
Usually I like to stay away from politics because a lot of people in my school are liberal. And and at my school, I'm the minority. And since I'm a Trump supporter, I always get,
criticism.
Yeah. But
what do you have to say about this Women's Day Without a Woman, where they're gonna kind of like a day without an immigrant, kind of like the Women's March? What do you think about this protest?
To be honest, I think it's stupid. I mean, even when Trump was going to not let the immigrants in, I heard something about a protest, and the Muslims that are immigrated here are going to protest about it. I mean, please just stop protesting about it. We don't know who these people are. I mean, we still have problems with Islamic terrorists that are already immigrated in the United States. We don't want another Boston or 9/11. We don't want none of that. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I have nothing against Muslims, to be honest. But you can't tell what that person is going to do. You don't know what they're going to do.
I kind of want to add to this, and I guess I'll let Bearstown, and then I'll even let Kev form his own opinion on it since he brought the article. I think whoever has the article should go last. With respect to the person who bring the article, I'm not saying his opinion is relevant, but just I think the person who holds the key goes last. But my issue is this: is we've already had a women's march, right? So this is something similar to a day without a woman. Well, this is kind of the similar instance here where you had the women's march just recently. We had women march in the streets. And though I do believe in peaceful protest and I do believe in opposite opinions, and that's fine. My question is women claim they make 68 cents to the dollar, but if you were as opposed to men, but the thing is you don't look at it hours work versus call-in versus how many the ratio between men and women on jobs. I mean, you have to plug all those variables in, and that's why that number is so discrete. If you were to take some of those variables out, that number actually dollar sign would probably be a little bit closer, maybe towards 72, 75 cents to the dollar as opposed to men. Now, I do agree that women still have there's probably more up hurdles they need to overcome and to be able to compete in this quote unquote man's world. But women already get into the clubs for free. They get certain perks. They're 8 times likely to marry into money as opposed to men. They still have the right to vote like the rest of us do. Women have what's quote the assets, the ass and tits. They get certain jobs that we men have actually been passed up on because their breasts were showing and the 40-year-old version hired them for that job, even though they might have not have been quote unquote qualified for that position. I've seen this happen before. So I'm not saying that women aren't equal to us, and I'm not saying they're beneath us, and I'm not saying they're ahead of us. But let's be real. Let's look at 2017. Women have actually better perks than some of the men do I see, and even better privileges at times. So for this whole day without a woman, I mean, I've seen more men cooking. I've seen more men paying for dates. I've seen more guys actually being fathers to their children now, as opposed to 20 years ago that wasn't the case. I've actually seen men participate more in doing the laundry and stuff. I've known people in relationships where the guy does pretty much everything in terms of the cleaning now. I've seen guys actually pick up those roles and women pick up the business etiquettes, and I don't have a problem with that. But what I'm saying is I feel that women feel that they're not appreciated enough, but I feel like that's really not the case. I feel like they're really overappreciated, if anything, and they have certain rights that we men don't have to this day. Like, I can't get into the club for free. They can get into the club for free. Women get sometimes they get free drinks. The club offers them free drinks. Sometimes the club offers them discounts on drinks. As a man, I can't get a discount on my drink. I can't get into the club for free. So there are certain perks that women do get according to their quote unquote assets or their look. So they do get certain privileges. Again, they're 8 times likely to marry into money as opposed to men are. Meaning they can enter a relationship with nothing to offer and still marry into financial success. How many men do you know that are on the outside with no jobs or whatever can marry into success? Very few. Very few, because remember, in this world, the man is supposed to be the provider. The man is supposed to be the protector. So I don't really truly believe that women are at this disadvantage that they so-called claim it's the case. So I'm going to go ahead and close it off on here, and I'm going to go ahead and let Bearstown and then Kev wrap it up.
All right. Now, women, the woman is fucking retarded shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain to you, man. Women have more fucking privileges than everything else. Or they were fucking women, fucking dumbass. Dumbass. Oh my god. Women today have more jobs, more money, you know what I'm saying? But women today are more, it's not care about the love, they care about the fucking money nowadays. Women today, they want women be fine with me. The guys pay child support more than women does. I'm saying women today have more money. I'm saying it's more an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But when I say women, let's talk about this. Women we got hired because they're either hot, either they have big boobies, and they got jobs. So now guys didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I went out to college, women paid the victim card. Now they were women. It's a stupid retarded thing. It's a most retarded thing. That's why the media brainwashed us. That's why I'm immigrants. So I'm like, oh, I don't give a damn. Work, got my job, work my ass. If get protests, I hope women get fired. Because a lot of guys will work hard and stuff. Guys will work way more than I ever seen and work hard a lot of hours. I get tired, like, okay. You know
okay. So Kev, I guess Kev, it's your turn, and then and what you think of your own article, and then I also want to ask you a question too, Kev, so that way you actually have something like to add to it. Do you think women, a day without a woman, do you think there's a purpose to this, and do you think women are at this big disadvantage that it's, you know, as the article's mentioning?
No, because I think a lot of things have been handed to women over the last 10 or 15 years. I mean, Stephen pointed out, when you go to bars and nightclubs, they have free women nights from certain times. Women get certain drinks because of the way they look. It's a perk. And let me just say this much about the Women's March thing. It goes with it. Jennifer Lawrence was the most paid actress in Hollywood the last 5 years She's made more money than most of the actors, most men. So for them to go on there and say that is really absurd. This whole women's march thing, this whole women's day without that. Let me just say this much. I mean, you know I'm married, and I'm married to a really great woman. She's not a part of this bullshit. But if it was ever to a point, men can survive on their own. Hell, I know how to cook. I know how to do things that I don't need a woman for. And I know women are like, well, you need us for sex. No, you don't. All you got to do is go buy yourself some lotion, do some shit, get yourself taken care of. So, I mean, honestly, if you want to think about it, it don't matter. I mean, we don't need these women to go and do these march. And these are a bunch of little sourpuss bitches who are mad because Hillary Clinton didn't win for them. I'm sorry, Peaches. Get over it. Go in the kitchen and make me a fucking sandwich.
That's a good one.
And Kev, we need to go ahead and have a heterosexual, white, Christian, Donald Trump supporter day where we don't have to do shit, whatever. Just so I can take the fucking day off, all right? And I'll go ahead whenever y'all have that shit. Whenever it comes down to whenever y'all want to let us have a day, then yeah, I'll go ahead and take the day off that day.
White History Month and see how crazy this fucking country goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always a fucking. It's always a double standard for these people and whatnot.
No, but imagine if we had imagine if there was a White History Month, how crazy the essays and the blacks would go.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or if we had
Oh yeah. I don't know where my hat is.
All right, so is there anything else you guys want to add to this, or should we just go ahead and go to the next article at hand?
I'll just say this one last part with it, and I'll be done with it. If there are women viewers watching, what you need to do right now is think about it. If at March the 8th, if we see women walking around wearing red, which is what they're encouraged to do, and I look at it like this: women, if you want to wear red, all you got to do is wear white pants to get your time in a month. So there you go. Fuck off.
Guys.
Yeah, this is what I'll say. All right, women, if you're watching, if this woman has hair growing out from under her arm, she needs to shave. She's got a nice little mustache over there. Just don't even worry about her. She can't get a man. If you're happy in your relationship, you damn sure don't want to follow any of these women. For some reason, they're just bad luggage. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to deal with them. So you look at it, just worry about yourself. Stop getting into these superficial causes. Well, it's all about women rights. They don't care about you. They just soon have people march because they can't have a man. Is most of it. I'm just being real.
Or they can't keep one.
They can't keep a man.
Nice guys, because the guys like me are having fun going to Flash games and going to the Bears games.
Hey, so Bearstown, what is your article about? We'll go on you next.
Mine is going to be a pay-per-view event, but it's going to be something about women marches. It's a pretty good one. I have an article for Ashley Ladd. And she's from Ashley Ladd. Judd.
Ashley Judd.
Yes. She's an activist, left-wing activist. It was White Women's March. Ashley Judd said that tragedy of Donald Trump's election with this far worse than experience for her childhood in which she was raped. It reminds me of the worst thing that happened to me in my lifetime. A John's successful election. Rape as a child, we rape its political system. I think it's a clown really bad.
Okay, so
Okay, Ashley Judd. What Ashley Judd is saying? What he's saying is that Ashley Judd is saying that the election of Trump is worse than getting raped. That's what Ashley Judd said.
That's what
Just
I'm
to
saying.
sum it up.
Okay, so that's the article.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess your question is you want to know what we think of it?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
What do you think?
I'll start first. It's the same thing that Madonna said, where she said someone should blow up the White House, and then she was being investigated. I guess that never happened or whatever, because she would already be in jail by now. If that was me personally, I'd be locked up right now. But that's just me. But the thing is, I feel like she said it's worse. I mean, there's a lot of things that these people are saying about Trump winning. They're so depressed and distraught about it. I just think it's very immature, and I think it's like the kid at the candy store who didn't get the candy that his mother chose this time not to buy for him, and then he starts screaming and pouting. And this is basically what this is. And I think it's just Ashley Judd is ignorant. I just think for her to say that is just it's nuts. And that's all I got to say about that.
How about you, Kev?
All right, what I'd like to ask Ashley Judd is, you know, I know you're not welcome to Kentucky Wildcat basketball games anymore, so good luck with that. And second of all, I want to ask, you know what, Ashley Judd, if you ever come to Nashville, I have something for you. I have a bag of Cheetos, so if you want to bathe yourself in Cheeto dust, maybe you can understand how Donald Trump feels. This whole Women March thing was so damn stupid. It was completely uncalled for. Ashley Judd, her poem was by a 19-year-old girl who lives here in Tennessee, and that girl's got no fucking common sense either. I mean, the millennials are like, don't even know what the fuck they're talking about half the time. So, and you know, and I have to say, Stephen, though, at least with your nephew, he seems like a very smart millennial. He knows what he's fucking talking about.
It's actually
so most of these millennials, most of these millennials don't know jack shit of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you can ask them about, like, for example, I don't know if you guys follow Mark Dice on YouTube or not or anything, but he had a video where he went around. He asked these girls, these people, who won the Civil War, and they couldn't even guess who won the Civil War.
Who knows?
That's horrible.
War, to be honest, who knows?
I know.
I know.
With this being said, whenever I look at Ashley Judd, right, and I see these people, they're not the celebrities. I don't even really think that we have celebrities like we used to back in the days. The celebrities like had their own little private world, and you barely heard out of the celebrities. Just whenever they thought something. I don't believe that any of these people are really what you would consider celebrities and whatnot. I look at Ashley Judd, and it's like, okay, you're kind of a joke right now because now you're responding to everybody on Twitter and whatnot, and it just doesn't make any sense because every time they open their mouth, they say something stupid like this, just like Madonna, just like the rest of them, and they think that they really still have that influential power that celebrities used to have back in the days, but nobody's buying your shit anymore. Yeah, he's yeah. But
can we join? He asked me if you can join. Can we?
I don't. This is Steven's show. Steven wants Will on here. The only bad thing is Will has a tendency to give out the link to trolls, so he likes to crash the shows. I'm probably gonna have to decline this time, Will. Sorry. But this
he may give it
I'm
up.
trying to wrap the show up relatively quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to do laundry and get up and go to work tomorrow. So I don't want to be on here all night with trolls.
Okay,
Plus,
so
we're almost done. We don't have that many topics to go over.
Okay.
So I can do it. What the fuck?
I don't know. You fucking unfriended me, Will. What the hell? You fucking blocked me on Facebook. You would be able just to ask me, but you fucking unfriended me for no damn reason. By the way, might I add.
He blocked you after you told him he couldn't join?
What the fuck?
No, he blocked me before that, man. He thought I was in some sort of work with Dark Horse or something. And I hadn't done a work in a while, but it was having some shit to do with Kyle. And I don't really have a lot to do with Kyle.
So
I don't know if you can know that.
And now he's asking to get on the Hangout.
Yeah, and then he like talked some shit about some people behind my back and shit. And then he blocked me on Facebook, unfriended me, and blocked me on Facebook, which why he did this shit, I have no fucking idea because it wasn't a part of any of the shit that he's talking about. And now he wants on the fucking video. So, no, I'm sorry. I'm just afraid that you're probably going to give me some trolls come in here, snipe my video or something like that.
Does he bring trolls on this video? Has he done it before?
Yeah, he's given out links before, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he can't do that again?
Yeah, because we're fixing to finish this up and
right, we got two articles to go. I guess we'll let my nephew go, and then we'll let Polston go last. You said you wanted to cover the Puta Pie situation. I know that's kind of a dead topic, but we're just going to get everybody's opinion on here as to what my nephew's talking about.
We all know the PewDiePie topic that happened last week. It was third on trending on YouTube. Everyone should know about it. Who's a supporter of PewDiePie here, to be honest? Who is subscribed to PewDiePie?
Me.
That's it? Okay.
Okay.
I like PewDiePie because he's funny, but some of the things that he said, to be honest, I mean...
Or controversial.
Yeah.
No.
I don't believe in... I'm not a racist, but when he said, quote unquote, kill the Jews, or in one of his videos, he actually said the N-word.
With an ER at the end or an A? Because some people say it with an A.
Or
they say with the ER.
I think he said it with an A or an ER. I'm not really sure. All I know is an ER.
Because with an ER, it's worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but what he said, kill all the Jews. Now, was that a joke or was that like a skit or something?
It was, I mean...
It was a skit. It was a skit. That's what it was. And they take certain clips out of it, and they took a lot of PewDiePie stuff out of context
So they
to make it seem worse than it really is. Because it's more for shock value. He was a shock comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Is it true? Is it true that Disney dropped him?
Yeah, it is. They dropped him. They even canceled his show, Scare PewDiePie, one of YouTube Red shows.
Wow. And
this is why I don't go after the articles, because the articles are misleading and whatnot. But what PewDiePie did was I forget what the name of it was, but it's the site to where you put in something that you once said on the internet, right? And they'll go ahead and they'll put it in. So what he did was he put, right on a sign, kill all the Jews and stuff like that, just to see if they would do it, right? He didn't really say it, but he just put that in on this program to have a reaction video to upload to his channel. So whenever he paid for it, he didn't know what to expect from it. Then it was like two Indian guys dancing and whatnot, and they had the scroll, and then they kind of pull it apart, and they said, kill all the Jews, sub to King Star. And it was a comedy. It was a parody thing. And that's his reaction, was like, whoa, I didn't believe that you would do this, but you could type anything in there, and he was showing that you could type anything in there, and he just had a reaction to it. He does a lot of stuff for shock humor, but that's what it is. He's satire. You know what I'm saying?
Everything on YouTube pretty much is now satire. I mean, there's even clickbait, which I hate the most. People lying about topics.
My thing is PewDiePie got dropped by Disney. Is this affecting his income? Will this take a hit on it?
Fucking millionaire, man. He makes $16 million a year. You think Philly gives a shit about fucking?
What fortune it has from Disney, right? So will that cut affect his income?
I don't think he cares about the money. Oh, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I really don't think it will affect his money, because he's already making, like, I don't know, like a couple $1,000s from YouTube advertisements.
But he said he's making $16 million a year.
$16 million a year, man. He's been making $16 million a year. The guy's already rich. He doesn't give a shit about money.
Is that including with Disney though?
I don't know what his deal was with Disney. I just know that he was bringing in $16 million. So I mean, once you worked for fucking a year, and he's been doing this for 6 years, you do the math. I mean, the guy probably really doesn't need the money.
The guy could just quit YouTube and just live the rest of his life the way he,
So my question is, what do you guys think of this whole ordeal?
Hold on.
Drop him?
Hold on. You forget to. I forget to adjust my article.
We did discuss your article.
We did your article,
but I didn't talk about how I feel about it. I don't like to tell that she's a feminist bitch, being disrespectful for being a rapist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but we're past that topic already.
I ain't trying to talk about it, huh?
I mean, we've already talked about it. We discussed it.
Oh. All right.
Honest.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
You can go ahead and go on this. What do you think about the PewDiePie thing, Bearstown? What do you think about them attacking PewDiePie on the news?
That's stupid. PewDiePie is YouTube.
Because I know you have something to say about the fake news and how they lie all the time.
They do all the time. I stopped buying. I stopped believing. I stopped believing to the fucking. I think around 2010, That was something that was a fucking news. So when I see it, like, I pay attention to this year. It's like, motherfucking woman every fucking year. So, it's everything. This way, I just want to watch TV anymore. Just the shit I hear about them. People told me in the streets. Other than people from the streets, then the gangs. You know what I'm saying, cause I do get along with gangs. So that's what I'm saying. Chicago's a lot worse than people expected it. The media don't understand that. The media, Chicago, gun violence in Chicago are kind of way worse than the media pronounces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have to be like careful.
What do you think, Kev? Oh, sorry.
I have to be careful. Chicago, cutie pie is something bad as cute in Chicago. The media is more worse. Chicago, I think gun violence is the city of Chicago. Why do people want to leave Chicago?
Yeah, the media is trash about Chicago, man.
I think about big bullshit.
What do you think, Kev?
I really haven't followed what's been going on with that, but I have my say about fake news. I think that fake news put people and attacking him. I mean, like, let's be honest with you, the guy's got money. I mean, he's not going to be hurting by Disney dropping him or anything like that. So,
hell no, he just got another 2 million subs.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not going to hurt him at all. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you guys have been checking the comment section, but apparently there's been a cry pee poopy diaper war going on. So,
yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I've kind of been neglecting it.
Okay,
I was commenting earlier.
And if you want to add something in, he said that wasn't the only show that canceled PewDiePie. Who else canceled?
YouTube Red.
YouTube Red.
YouTube Red, yeah.
Scared PewDiePie. Anyone know it? I mean, it was a good show, right? Scared PewDiePie. Nobody knows it.
Yeah, I know it.
I guess I'll go ahead and go in on it then, because this kind of ties into mine. So I'll go in on it, and then I'll go ahead and get into mine. What we're seeing here is the media really attacking YouTube more than anything, especially after the Trump win. You know what I'm saying? How many videos? Just go ahead and type in CNN fake news into YouTube. Video after video. Guys like The Amazing Atheist, Hard Bastard, Sargon, they're all starting to go after these media networks. They used to have this power. You get a guy like PewDiePie, and I don't think that it's coincidental that they've never had a problem with PewDiePie up until he started calling out the media. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he started doing the news, whenever he started saying, hey, this news doesn't look legitimate. And this goes along with the Milo Yiannopoulos thing. I know a lot of you people are probably familiar with the drunken peasants. And I'm not sure if I totally 110% agree with the drunken peasants or whatnot half the time, and the way they set it up, and I'm damn sure not going to tell you that I agree totally with Milo on this one right here. But the guy had a point, and the point that I want to go ahead and just make out is that basically what Milo did is he went on the Drunken Peasants show, and it ended up going into like pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? And the talk did. And basically Milo talked about his own experience being molested by a Catholic priest at a young age. And basically he kind of glorified it a little bit, but George Takei did the same damn thing. And Bill Maher has done the same damn thing. Now, my whole problem with it is if you want to sit there and mention how that may be wrong to say, I mean, none of these people, people that watch the Drunken Peasants already know what they're going to kind of get. But with that being said, I think that if you're going to hold Milo to that system, like I said, I don't agree with all that Milo said. He was trying to make a case that, well, at 14 years old, your body is fully developed. Your sexual organs are fully developed. You're sexually curious. It shouldn't be thought as like pedophilia. You should separate that from pedophilia was the kind of case that he was making. But it just didn't come out right. And he has a point. You know what I'm saying? But to a degree, like I said, I'll always side with the Bible on this, which basically, whenever you look at like the Catholics and stuff like that, that's why they have your bar mitzvahs. That's why you have your quinceañeras. That's why it's always at 14, because supposedly That's what their faiths believe whenever you become a man. Like I said, whenever I look in the Bible, it says 20. Basically, you're considered an adult. And but like I said, that's totally up for debate. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, it's like the YouTube, the media is strictly going after these internet personalities, and they're holding the internet personalities to a higher standard than they hold their own to. And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not going to call George Takei out there talking about his sexual proclivities back whenever he was 13, we shouldn't crucify Milo, who's already, now mind you, Milo is called out, and he said there's nothing wrong with the law, and he agrees with the law the way it is. So he did make this case. But if we're going to call out Milo, then you should call out George Takei. Milo at least has outed 3 or 4 pedophiles already. So why are you sitting there trying to classify Milo as a pedophile the same way you're trying to crucify PewDiePie as a racist whenever you know that he's strictly satire? You're holding the people in the entertainment business to a way different standard than you hold. And these are celebrities that get followed by millions of people. You know what I'm saying? You're not holding them to the same standard that you hold YouTubers. And that's my thing about it. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Steven. What do you think? Or Steven's cousin?
Yeah, he's not here, and to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. So let's just go to Kev and see his point of view on this. Go on, Kev.
There was some times posting where I was hearing you, and then all of a sudden, like for some reason, Google was cutting out. What's the main premise of it?
Milo, basically, what it is Milo Yiannopoulos, right? Milo Yiannopoulos, he did his hangout with the drunken peasants where they were, pedophilia was brought up, and you know what I'm saying? And basically, he had a different opinion than they did, right? He talked about his own sexual experiences, his own abuse, his far with being molested as a kid. So he has this different opinion on what it should be. He's sitting there saying, oh, well, whenever Father Michael. So it was kind of controversial, but George Takei has done the same thing. What's happening is media is holding like YouTubers, and they'll take certain clips of you. They'll take shit out of context. Like I said, Milo's outed 3 pedophiles. You know what I'm saying? But they're holding YouTubers to a higher degree and they're calling them out, and they're starting to go after these channels as opposed to the celebrities who have a higher following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's really, and this is something that we've been dealing with for a lot of people want to say we dealt with this ever since Bush was president, but we've been dealing with this ever since Obama was president. This whole entire country has grown up to be a no fun league, almost like the NFL. I mean, it's kind of gotten to a point now where you can't do anything without offending someone or someone taking what you say out of fucking contents. That's what this media, fake news, loves to do. And in this situation here, I mean, it's fucked up, man. Really fucked up.
Can I say something? Well, news, like, I watch Fox News mostly. I mean, they're mostly conservative and just mostly Republicans, and you can tell that they were always bashing on Obama's administration. That's what they always talked about. And I admit, Obama wasn't our best president ever. I mean, there are some things that he kind of did wrong, but people are saying that Trump is going to be worse than Obama. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, just give the guy a chance, right? Who's with me?
I don't know.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance. All right. I just want to say that. And the problem with the news is they'll say anything they'll say anything to get themselves funded. I mean, that's all they really care about. They'll defend certain politicians that actually who are actually with them. That people listen to the politicians more than they do the news. But
let me add something in real quick. And I wanted to say this. I just got back from restroom break, and I'm sorry about this whole pedophilia thing. I understand that in the state of Georgia, you can legally consent at 14. In certain states, I think Louisiana, the legal age of consent is 16. Arizona, and state of Texas, it's 17. You can consent, meaning you can be 17 and date anybody 18 or older. Georgia, it's 14, anybody or older, right? So you can be 14.
Hawaii's 14. Michigan's 15, I think.
What about
what's up?
What about Utah? I think it's a young age too, isn't it? I think you can marry up to 3 women in Utah.
I'm not sure if bigamy is allowed in Utah. I don't think it is, man. I don't think bigamy is allowed in Utah.
Allowed in Utah if you are a what's that religion that not Mormons, or what do they call them? The one the Dugars are a part of.
Yeah, the Mormons.
Yeah, they can marry 3 women if you can prove like you're not the sovereignty or whatever, some crap about not being sovereign, like not being on the U.S. census or whatever. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about this YouTube guy, this Milo guy. He sounds like a pretty cool guy. I don't know if he was convicted of pedophilia or if he had the thoughts or if he just agreed. In my opinion,
no. What? This is what happened. All right. Now I'll go over it again. This is what happened. All right. Basically, what happened is he was on the Drunken Peasants. Now, mind you, Milo Yiannopoulos has already outed. He's already outed 3 pedophiles. So there's no way he's for it. Now, he was a product of sexual assault at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I'm going to invite Leon and let him close us out for the show. But I'll go over this for you real quick. Okay. So on the Drunken Peasants, what happened was the thing about pedophilia came up. And what Milo was trying to sit there and say is a lot of people don't understand what pedophilia is. Half the fucking YWC doesn't understand. Hell, they think that fucking Alberto Del Rio is a pedophile for dating Paige. So what he's saying is that whenever you're 13, 14 years old, or he went down to 13 because I think that's whenever he was sexually assaulted. So I think in Milo's mind, he's trying to justify his sexual assault whenever he's saying this. I really strongly believe that. But what he did was saying that at 14 years old, you're fully sexually developed, and that's not really considered pedophile. And then he tried to explain that the age of consent, that the age of consent was totally right, where it should be. But the media takes that clip and say that he supports pedophilia. George Takei, guys like that, Bill Maher, he has done a show where he's adamantly spoke in regards and supporting pedophilia. Half of fucking Hollywood. What's that? Roman Polanski, who raped a 14-year-old girl, got up and applauded this guy. You see what I'm saying? So you see the hypocrisy here? So they're trying to label Milo as a pedophile supporter. At the same time, they give these guys free passes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's character assassination is what it is. I
want to say
they take the shit out of context.
Milo's situation, what I want to say, I feel bad for the guy that he was sexually assaulted. I know maybe he's trying to justify it to cloud whatever thing he's going through. What irks me is I see pedophiles, self-admitted or convicted sex offenders or pedophiles profit on YouTube. And I think YouTube should not allow these guys to profit off of their channels. I've seen 2 or 3 famous ones that I can't remember their names, but they have millions of subs, thousands of followers, thousands of commenters, and they're creating ad revenue, and they're actually profiting after they have been convicted. And I know people are going to have this debate, well, he paid his dues, he went to jail, or he went through the system, or he did this. I personally think if you have been convicted of a sex crime or a violent crime, you should not be able to profit off of YouTube. And that's just my opinion on the matter. And I'm going to close it out. I'm sorry about Milo's situation. I'm going to leave it off at that, and I'll let you guys go ahead and take over next on it.
Well, I was going to let Bearstown go ahead and give his thoughts, but he dropped out real quick. So I'll just leave it off with Leon here and let him see what he thinks about it.
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Not too bad yourself.
Doing pretty good. I know you had something to say, so.
Well, I'm going to address that feminism part because I know you were talking about it earlier before I came in. So here's the thing with feminism. Most of these SJWs, they know that their cause is like dying out, and they're trying to make themselves look relevant, this, that, and the other thing. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to cause as much havoc as they possibly can before their cause dies out completely, which is exactly what's happening right now ever since Trump got into office.
Bearstown, what's your thoughts on the Milo situation, man?
More fake news, huh? Everything is getting worse since the Justice Warriors are doing. Making more fucking bullshit lies. It was just, since I don't watch the TV anymore, it's just more bullshitting. And I think more YouTube videos now, Alex Jones can be censored more. And I start paying attention to more. Like, there's more fake news can get scared now. You mean they're more intimidated. To be honest with you. You know, I like reading Bread and Butter. It's one of the articles I like to read. It's more straight and shooting. I like Alex Jones. Reading the articles. I like to listen with both sides. I like seeing both sides. I don't like one side things sometimes. I like both sides. I like to see both sides. Then I make decisions upon it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have to be careful. That's why, like, this show, so I was into more. That show, like, 2 years ago, like, I was doing what politicians were doing.
Let me ask you guys this. Let's just should pedophiles or people who commit sex acts, violent crimes, should they be able to profit off of YouTube? Because there are some famous YouTubers who have been convicted of sex crimes and are sex offenders or pedophiles or self-admitted pedophiles. Should they be able to profit off of YouTube? I know that's a debate. What do you guys think?
If I may start right there, because this is the main problem. The prison system itself, certain states do not allow them to go online in the first place. And I get where you're coming from, Steven. I think they should not profit off the internet whatsoever.
Yes.
I mean, here's the thing, right? First off, you'd have to be convicted of pedophilia. But with that being said, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure that if you're convicted of it, anybody can sit there and say that they've done this right here and gotten away with it. I'm pretty sure that you're probably not going to be able to get on the internet whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how these guys are on the internet. Because, you know, to be honest with you, that's a way that you can do child trafficking. And if you look at the Young Turks, they did a video basically advocating the shit whenever Trump was running, because Trump wanted to get rid of child pornography and child sex trafficking. There's a lot of it going on in Hollywood, man. A lot of it. Hollywood is consumed with pedophilia. So, I mean, how are you going to, you know, we're going to have to actually do something about it. And, you know, I think to a degree, this is why I'm not a big fan of the LGBT. If you're homosexual, I have no problem with you. But I'm not a big fan of the LGBT, because whenever you look at the LGBT, QIBCD, whatever letter they added this fucking week, they always add letters. You know that eventually that P is going to get in there, because that's what they do. They take all these different sexual disorders and then they put it into one thing. And I think that, you know, I don't have a problem with you if you're a lesbian. I don't have a problem if you're homosexual. You know, the transgender, you're kind of pushing it a little bit, because now they want to do the whole self-identification restrooms and shit like that. And you know that eventually they're going to get down to the pedophiles, man. This is why I don't trust the organization.
Let me ask you guys this. I would rather see them profit off of YouTube than pedophiles and people convicted of horrible sex crimes against children or whatever. I don't think they should be able to benefit off of YouTube at all.
Okay, but here's the whole deal. Here's the whole deal, Steven. What happens whenever the LGBTQPDEF adds that P, right? They add the P. So now you're going to go ahead and have a bunch of people supporting pedophilia through the LGBT. You see what I'm saying? Because they just collect acronyms. That's what they do.
I don't think it's
and
just
you can see a soft transition going on right now, like we're talking about pedophilia right now. But you see a soft transition with pedophilia going on right now. So this is why I'm against the special interest.
You got what they call pedophile sympathizers, where you got people that sympathize with these people's, they consider it a mental disorder. And it possibly is, because people, like, hell, alcoholism is considered a mental disease. Now, what I'm saying is there's a difference between, every state has their different age range of consent. So I understand there's always going to be that debate. That's why it's not a black and white answer as to should these guys profit off of YouTube or should they not profit off of YouTube. But my answer to this is, if you're convicted of a violent sex crime, if you are actually convicted, you should not be able to profit off of YouTube.
I think that if you're convicted, that you're probably not going to be on YouTube.
Well,
I don't even understand, because like Luke Dogg, that's his issue right now. You see what I'm saying?
So if Luke Dogg blew up and went viral and started making profit, would you be okay with that?
I don't know. I mean, I think that he always stays under the table because he doesn't want anybody to know. I mean, think about it. Somebody, and I think that Malik, you could just send that to his probation officer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that if they're a convict, that they're just not going to go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's something one of your Facebook followers just said. He said, if you open that door to profitability for pedophiles, then it also becomes a debate. Should anybody convicted of an assault or violent crime should be profiting off of YouTube? So he told me, Rose, I think you're on the right path. I just think this opens Pandora's box to a lot more ranges. Do we stop at pedophilia?
Which pedophiles are you talking about? Go ahead and name one.
Well, there was one that I saw on this famous guy's YouTube channel where he invited one on there, and he was a self-promoted pedophile. He wasn't convicted of the crime, but he admitted that he had these thoughts and stuff. He was 16 years old. The guy who invited him on his channel was assaulted at 4.
So the guy wasn't convicted, and this becomes a fucking problem. Anybody can point at anybody and say, well, you're a fucking pedophile. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can identify as a fucking pedophile. It's going to be kind of hard to say, oh, well, pedophiles shouldn't be able to profit. Now, as far as being convicted of it,
yeah,
they shouldn't even be on the fucking internet. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be kind of fucking sit there and say, oh, well, this guy is a fucking pedophile and that guy's not. Now you're going to start pointing fingers.
Okay, but
it's going to be kind of hard to sit there.
Profit off of YouTube.
No.
What's up?
Should convicted pedophiles profit off of YouTube, off their YouTube channel?
Convicted pedophiles shouldn't be on the internet.
Okay, so your answer is no.
Well,
they shouldn't be on the internet at all.
Paulson, can I cut you off right there? Because I looked into this information a while back. That only happens in certain states. In certain states, the parole officer will tell them that they cannot go on social media whatsoever. And I think that's YouTube included, because technically YouTube is social media in a theoretical sense, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my buddy's telling me in every state the age of consent is different. So he said there's no one size fits all. But he said if they are convicted of a sex crime, he said he would like the idea of them not profiting off of that or not profiting off of YouTube. But he said it does open Pandora's box for other crimes similar to that. And then that whole debate will come up.
Well, I can tell you right now, if you're convicted of pedophilia in Texas, if you're convicted of pedophilia, that's different than being guilty of pedophilia, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? You could be guilty and never have been convicted of pedophilia. At the same time, like I said, each state has its own age limit and the consent, and I understand that. Now, like I said, there yet again, that's a touchy subject, and that's why I didn't really want to touch a lot on the Milo thing, because what's pedophilia are considered pedophilia, and it's really, like I said, Milo had a point. Milo has a really good point. He goes, pedophilia is what happens whenever you're having sex with a kid who has not matured. You know what I'm saying? Or sexual organs or none of this stuff has matured. now you're talking about the sexual organs. That's legitimately pedophilia. That's why whenever you hear these crimes about, they're more listed under sexual assault for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever they're that young, they tend to stay with their parents, and it doesn't happen. You do get it, but I think that whenever you're convicted of anything like that, any kind of sex, you know, any kind of thing like that, then yeah, you like, you know, Luke right now. I don't think that technically, if he wasn't convicted, but if he had been convicted, if he had spent some time in prison, yeah, I don't think that they should be on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a fucking predator. Why would you allow predators on the internet if they've been convicted, or if they're, you know, they have some sort of heinous crime in their background? They just shouldn't be allowed on it. But, you know, like I said, there yet again, it's a slippery slope, because if a guy says that he's a pedophile and you don't have any proof, and he just says, hey, well, yeah, I've thought these thoughts and I've had these, how are you going to stop that guy from making money? He's not really convicted. So I can't stop that guy from making money.
If he wants to add something in, you said that their content may still be watchable, so they should be able to make money as well.
Yeah, I mean, even if big YouTubers, even if they were convicted of being like a pedophile, doesn't mean their content. It doesn't mean that they're still going to make the same mistake. I mean, of course they're bad people, but it's not like their content is really more focusing on.
You said there was one YouTuber, right, that was convicted?
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he was convicted of not being a pedophile, but sexual harassment.
And he was still profiting?
Yeah, he was still profiting on YouTube. I mean,
well, sexual harassment's a hell of a lot different than fucking pedophilia, don't you think?
I know, but I'm not saying, even if you are convicted of being a pedophile, if your content is not revolving around getting some 9-year-old in bed.
Yeah.
It's not. It could be about gaming. I mean,
or
come
something
on.
else. I understand what he's saying. He's saying it's not like they're profiting off the crime. That their videos, they still got content that's watchable, and he's saying they should be able to profit off of it still.
Hold on.
But you're saying you're saying we shouldn't forget what he did.
Yeah, people still should remember who this guy is, and what he actually did. But there's the part where you at least need to show this guy some respect. I mean, he's changing. At least he's not going to do this again. I mean, you don't know that, to be honest, but you don't know that, to be honest. But at least watch.
If he was convicted of it, I'm sorry. If he's convicted of it, more than likely he has a pattern history of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
I mean that because they're not going to sit there and.
Here, let me ask y'all a trick question. Let's wrap it up because we're on an hour and a half, right, Paulson?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just wrap it up here. If a YouTuber is convicted of a violent crime, which is domestic violence, assault on a police officer, family domestic dispute, assault and battery, assault with a deadly weapon, or any type of sexual crime, should they still be allowed to process YouTube content and profit off of it, or should YouTube get rid of them?
I think that's, because, especially like there has been YouTubers that's done that, who have committed like terroristic acts, terroristic threats and whatnot on YouTube. And yeah, they're banned. It's a lifetime ban. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
They've done it before.
You know any other names, like any other names by heart, or no?
I don't know, but you can look it up. I think it's Danger Dolan did a video on it, and he goes through all of them and why they were banned from YouTube for life. Some of the top channels.
Wow. So I guess we'll wrap it up unless anybody wants to add it.
Crazy.
You want to go ahead and add something, Bearstorm? Because I'm fixing to add it up, wrap it up, man. I got to do laundry.
It's pedophile. It's always a pedophile. It's stupid. It's so shit. It's pedophile.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that, dude.
It's scary. I don't trust pedophile. So it's my thoughts.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we're out. Anybody else got anything that they want to add? Because I got to go do laundry, so I'm trying to get out of here.
All right, let's wrap it up. Yeah, we're and I appreciate you guys, first of all, for I know it's my idea, but all these guys make this channel what it is. We're gonna do this once a week. It's called Current Event Live. You guys, this next one will be Current Event Live Part 2, which means it'll be the second part of this series, and we'll see how far this goes. And we'll have different current event articles, different topics to discuss, different questions will be brought up, and different controversial arguments on both sides will be made. And this is what makes it cool. Bring your own current event, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
If you have any recommendations on what he might want to talk about, you can.
In the next video, you guys can feel glad to comment, or you want to be a part of it, make sure you comment on the bottom, and we'll feel free to send you a link if we have enough space, of course. There's only 9 spots available, and we'll go ahead and let Polston wrap it up. Thank you for being a part of this channel.
All right, and that's Bearstown, Stephen Rose, Leon Calavera, Kev's Point of View. I'll go ahead, as soon as the video's uploaded, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description. Go ahead and sub to all these channels. It's probably going to be a rotating show between channels and whatnot. But, yeah, y'all tell us what y'all think. Y'all like, sub, do the shit YouTube tells us to do to get over, and we're out.